Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Misplated. I'm so excited for this series and I hope you guys really like it. We are about to meet Giovann Attard. He's the executive chef at Norma here in Fitzrovia in London. He's gonna make Bragioli, which is a traditional dish from his home country, Malta, and he's gonna talk us through his career, his journey while preparing this dish. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the first episode of the series. We're kind of taking it as it goes. It's a new discovery for me as well. And as I said in my previous video, I kind of wanted to look at food in a different light, look at the relationship that people have with food and how food really changes their journey, which is, what has happened to me as well. Food has really changed the way I work and the way I live, and I've created a whole new career out of it for myself as well. And I'm really interested in learning more about what food has made, what food has brought to other people as well. So without any further ado, let's go in and meet Giovann. I'm so excited for this. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Welcome to my kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm Giovann and I'm the executive head chef at Norma London. And today I'm going to cook a Bragioli, which is a Maltese dish, but also a Sicilian, Italian. There's loads of variations of it. And it's basically a meat, veal or beef, wrapped and stuffed with mince and then slow cooked. So yes, we're going to cook this dish because I think it brings two cultures together.
Yeah.
It resembles where I come from. I have loads of childhood memories from my mom cooks this dish all the time, and as well it relates to where I work now, which is Norma, Sicilian inspired restaurant, and it sort of brings both worlds together.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
I think it's very meat. So
Yeah. Well, we have a version of Bragioli called Bragioli where I'm from, so I like to think that sort of I'm trying to sneak in, and there is a connection for me as well.
Yes.
So that's cool. So what ingredients have we got here?
We've got some veal loin here. We've got a pork and beef mince for the stuffing. We've got some onion, garlic, parsley, breadcrumbs, parmesan, and some pancetta. So we're going to make basically the involtini. Okay, we're gonna cut the veal into steaks, and then we're gonna flatten it out, and then we're gonna make the filling with beef mince, pork mince, pancetta, parsley, breadcrumbs, parmesan, and we're gonna season that, and then we're gonna make the sauce based with tomato paste, beef stock, and peas, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, and then we're gonna sort of slow cook it, and then we're gonna try it.
Cool.
Yeah?
All right, let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So you were saying that there is a significance for you for this dish because it's a childhood memory, is correct?
Yes,
yeah.
I think this dish in particular is something my mom used to make when I was young and still makes. I think growing up, obviously I didn't know there is obviously similarity between probably Sicilian and Maltese food, but obviously growing up into the kitchen industry and into cooking, I obviously realized that there's loads of similarities, and I think
how was it though? Because I guess we all have our memories of our mom's kitchen being super original and being a little special place. How was it the first time you learned there is something shared?
I think it's an amazing revelation to have is when you realize how cultures sort of cross over and come together. And I think when you realize that and you start to study that, I think it's just amazing how things cross over and everybody is sort of cuisines are inspired one from another. I think that is the beauty of cooking and I think of authentic food per se. So I think it's amazing. I think it's where all the love is. When people share and get inspired, and then they do their own thing. So yeah.
Do you think it takes away a little bit? When you learn to like share, when you learn that a lot of these recipes are shared, like, do you think that takes away a bit the sort of ownership for a specific cuisine, or?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think you can follow, everybody can follow the same recipe, and it will be a different taste. It will taste some way or somehow a bit different, because it's not about the recipe, it's about the chef, and it's the person cooking it, and it's about the love and that there is behind the food, and where you're coming from, and who you're doing it for. And I think that changes how recipes sort of end up or evolve, Everybody can follow a piece of paper that says 200 grams of 200 grams of this, but the love that you can give while cooking and produce something is totally different. I think it differs from one person to another, so I don't think it takes away,
Yeah, that's very nice, yeah.
So yeah, so I'm gonna flatten these out.
Go ahead. I'm gonna give a bit of love, as you were saying.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have like a nice flat piece of veal. Yeah?
Yeah, nice. So can you tell me a little bit more? Well, I guess no, we'll wait for the flattening.
Shall I do them a few and then?
We're gonna fast forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do just a few of them.
No
I'm not
worries,
gonna do
yeah.
all, so it's
Yeah. See, I'm aiming to kind of keep this rolling and never edit things out if I can. So just gonna put a little disclaimer here
sorry
for the
noise.
sound. But nice.
5, 6, and now this is. Okay.
Do you count in which language?
I count. Usually, it's funnily enough, I counted more in English actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I do count in English. Yeah.
Is that because you?
Because I think it's so in Malta we learn both languages at the same time. So I think it's just a habit.
Yeah.
I do, however, count in Maltese sometimes. Yes.
Okay.
Depends what I'm counting or where I am at. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mix the. We're gonna make the filling. So we're gonna mix the beef and we have equal quantities of beef and pork mince. Okay.
You know, where I'm from, we use horse meat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's very popular, especially in southern Italy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and then put some onion. And some pancetta. Some garlic. Yeah. And some parsley.
Oh, that looks very nice.
Yeah, and then we're going to put some parmesan and some breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yes. Can you tell me a little bit more about, like, obviously you were saying I was seeing my mom cooking.
Yeah.
She was, yeah, very involved in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Is that how you got into
Yes.
cooking yourself?
Yes, I think probably as a very young boy, I used to see my mom and my grandma cook, and I think without probably me knowing, I was like always pulled into this. Always put automatically in the kitchen. I want to get involved. You know, I want to try. Especially when my mom and my grandma used to do ravioli together. I just watch them all the time and see what they are doing. So yes, it's definitely helped me and attracted me to the kitchen. And I think as well another good point is that basically my dad works in a farm, and we have like loads of fields, and we grow our own crops.
Nice.
And vegetables. So I always had that close contact with cuisine and with products and fresh produce and seasonality. So that is very important for me, to have seasonal produce,
Yeah.
and know about it, because it's it's a massive part of being a chef,
Yeah.
having good produce and fresh produce. So.
Do you think that has changed a little bit? Because obviously now, 2024, everybody's aware of fresh produce. But like when you started, was it like on, not, I don't want to say on trend, but like was it something that was like talked about a lot, or?
I think probably it has evolved now more, that we need to be more sustainable and more follow the season, and not force anything. I'm definitely more aware of it now, and more conscious. I grew up with it, so for me it was something normal. It was something that I am used to, and but now working in industrial kitchens and over the years, yeah, I'm more conscious of it, and I follow it because it's just so way easier. The food is better. Everything tastes better. It's actually as well it's cheaper. So and you're following the nature really. How it's supposed to be. So why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it resonate, you think? Because like in a place like London where there's
Yeah.
many cuisines, and maybe people associate a specific dish
Yeah.
with a specific cuisine.
Yeah.
And obviously maybe that dish is actually seasonal. Like do you
Yeah.
think it's harder maybe here to kind of get people used to the idea that that Italian dish that you really like, you can only get it in July?
Yeah.
Or
For people to understand, I think sometimes it is, but I think people that really love food and know what they're doing and know what they're talking about, I think it's very easy to understand, because it's asparagus is in spring, peas are in spring, pumpkins are in September. I don't want to have a pumpkin in spring or summer, because it does not, it's
Yeah.
not right,
That's true.
So it's I think it's nice to sort of accept
yeah, we should.
the seasons and what's in season, and I think it's more than accepted. It's just educate people about it and know about it, because I think when people know and understand why, I think that's when they will have a better understanding and accepting it.
You got
So-
anything seasonal here, or the
it's-
recipe itself?
We're gonna use peas, so peas are seasonal. Yes.
Nice, yeah.
Meat is available all year long, so yes. I
Yeah.
think,
All right.
yeah.
Let's do
So
it.
we're gonna we'll flatten the veal, yeah, and now we're going to season that a little bit, yeah, and then we're going to
Map and Boris Hall is a city. It's lovely. Yeah, the lovely. Bye. Love good. But I cut it out of the pocket, spit out the vents, and we are I sure have.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell me a bit more about your journey and how do you ended up in London? Like, were you always wanted to be here in particular, or?
So I started working back home. I went to culinary school and I started working in a five-star hotel, and then after a few years I said I want to see the world, I want to see something different, I want to experience different cuisines. Yeah, and I want to learn basically, and I felt that it will be a good idea that I will, you know, um, try and find a job abroad basically, and this job came about in London. This is now we're talking nearly 13 years ago, in the Stavert Hotel in Green Park. It was basically the same company that I used to work for back home, and yeah, I took the chance, and yeah, I've been here since. So
Okay. When was that?
that was in 2001.
Oh,
2021, sorry,
21.
2021.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, 2021.
Yeah, well, that's a big difference.
Yeah,
between the
exactly,
two.
2021, yeah.
Well, does it feel like it's been 20 years? Or?
No, 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 it feels like it's been 13 years.
Yeah.
No, no, it's fine. I love London, I love my life here. I think I've learned a lot in terms of cuisine. I've seen a lot of kitchens, I've seen, I think it's, you know, uh, looking back at my journey, and I'm working now at Norma, something that is very close to my heart. The food brings me back to my roots. I think it's something that I look back and I say, I've arrived where, without even probably thinking, I arrived somewhere that it really takes me back to where I come from.
What were you cooking before?
It's a mix of things, really. I've done street food, I've done modern British, a bit of everything, really. Just to get experience and yeah, to learn and to sort of go up in the kitchen ladder, really. So
Yeah.
you do a bit of everything. Yeah.
So do you think now, with your experience, like, are you seeing also your like home cuisine a little bit differently? It wouldn't, do you think that helped to like cooking British food, like modern British, like other like street food, either sort of maybe you feel a little bit more adventurous with cooking your home dishes as well?
I think what it is, I think about cooking Maltese food or cooking Mediterranean food. I think it's the fact that I have the chance to do so in my daily job is something for me, is something really nice, because it's like cooking at home all the time, cooking with the ingredients I really know I grew up with, and to have that chance, I think it's rare in a way, because it's you have to always follow what the restaurant is sort of about, and Norma is all about Mediterranean, Southern Italian, Moorish influences, which it's what Maltese food is about as well.
Yeah.
So there's loads of similarities there. So yeah, it's definitely it's as much as I've done loads of different cuisines along the way. I think this is what I like to do, and it's like where my heart is. So yeah.
Like, so what are the differences between Sicilian and like Maltese cuisine? Because like I'm sure there are some differences. So what can
Yeah,
we?
I think what Maltese food is. Maltese, I think Malta in general was conquered by loads of different empires and was colonized, along the years, and so Malta picked up loads of different cultures and tastes and ingredients along the way. So definitely there's a lot of Moorish influence in Maltese cuisine, which is similar to the Sicilian one. Differences, I don't know. I think it's more like variations, because both are both islands. They are very close to each other, so there is. Yeah, I think it's more there. I would say there's more similarities than differences, let's say, and variations.
What is that one ingredient that you were saying? That maybe arrived from far away.
Yeah.
That now it's really sort of found its home in Malta, or like a lot of people use it.
Oh, this is very hard. I didn't think about
Or
it.
maybe, like an ingredient that you grew up with, but
Yeah.
then for some reason you're not using anymore.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think I think a lot of ingredients that Maltese people use that were brought along. I think like spices like coriander, and cumin, and all these sort of Moorish North African spices that sort of were brought to Malta, and I think they are still used till now. Cloves, cinnamon. Those are all the ingredients that I think we
Yeah.
use, and they were brought over and still used till now.
Do you use them often here in the kitchen?
In this kitchen we use them a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we use them a lot. Yes, because
Okay.
same Sicilian food is used a lot. So of course we use them a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
That's nice, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because, well, actually, yeah, South Italy, well, it's not all the same.
Yeah.
Like Mediterranean, obviously,
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
the same.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
where
yeah.
I'm from, like cumin,
Yeah, cumin. Yeah.
like it wouldn't really be welcome if
No?
no, people
Really?
really, yeah, stay away from like, so I think every spice there is red that is not actually spicy,
Okay,
like
okay.
pepper, like chili pepper.
Yeah.
It's more, I think, like all the green spices and herbs, like that's
Right,
more like
yeah.
you'll find a bit of coriander.
Okay.
You know that when I was telling you, that ingredient that I don't really see often anymore.
Yeah.
For me is mint.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, because my mom uses a lot of mint. Well,
Yeah.
it's not that we have mint for breakfast, but like, it's kind of there every other day. And here I don't see it often in like
We use a
Italian
lot of
dishes.
mint here.
Do you?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do. Especially
So-
with lamb, obviously, and yeah, we use it a lot in sauces, salsa, sort of like gremolata.
Yeah. Nice.
And yeah, we use it a lot actually.
Okay.
Okay.
So, oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, you
So yeah,
got
they
them
are
already.
ready now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Let's have a look.
I need a fan like this. No, you didn't
Yeah.
need the one fan parts from it.
no, it's not fine. It's a bit like that one there. There must be another one there.
Let's get a closer look.
Shall I?
So a little recap of
They
the
take-
ingredients
they take all my
while we
pans.
wait for the pan to arrive. In case anybody wants to save the recipe.
For chef, yeah.
Even though I think you got it by now, we're not really focused on the recipe itself, but... Oops.
Okay, so now
Yeah.
we're going to that's that. Going to make the sauce. We're gonna start the sauce. We're gonna give the bragioli a bit of color first. Okay, and then we're going to fry the onion, the garlic, the carrots, tomato paste, and then we'll put the beef stock, and then we're just gonna simmer everything together, and then we'll add the peas at the end.
Nice.
We're just gonna slow cook that.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah.
They are big.
Huh?
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
basically I did them big because my mom makes them big like this. So I try to follow what my mom used to do. Usually probably they are a bit smaller, but my mom served them as a main course. And
oh, okay.
and
yeah.
Maltese portions are very big,
Yeah.
always.
Oh, wow.
So,
Love that.
yeah.
We're too used to small portions over
Exactly.
here. Yeah. Oh, okay. So how do you serve them with the same sauce that you're making today?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we usually serve them with the same sauce, we serve them with potatoes and vegetables. Yeah, so, yeah.
That's very nice. How many? So if you say big portion, how many do you have?
Two.
Two.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That seems about right.
So, just gonna season this.
Crispy. Oh, it's good. Not pretty good, but
Good. Should I move over here?
Yeah, it's better, yeah?
See.
the iron then.
Yeah. That looks so amazing as well. How long does it take to cook? Like when they're that big, do you need
They will need around probably an hour, maybe a bit more. So just to finish the sauce, I think around an hour.
Nice. Like they will cook in the sauce.
Yeah. So what I will do is I will give color first, and then I will take them out, and then I start in the same pan with all the flavor. I will start cooking this off, and then I'll
Nice.
put them back in. So I'm gonna start the sauce by putting the onion.
All right. What is this? Tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce.
Yeah, yeah. You making anything special?
Sorry.
What are you making with
We
it?
make tomato sauce every day here, so we make tomato sauce every day, and yeah, that is for, we use it a base of for everything. So for all the sauces, for the parmigiana, for the pasta alla Norma, so we do a lot of tomato sauce
Yeah.
here. So
Okay,
it's
yeah,
every
that's a
day
big
we
one.
have one. We have one tomato sauce going every day.
And that's for the whole day, or?
That's probably, yeah, for one day.
Okay,
One day,
yeah,
yeah. Because we use it for a lot of different.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make
Seems
twice.
a bit small for like a whole day. No? Yeah.
Sometimes we make two. It depends. But we have
Yeah.
always. This is for. We're making one today, but obviously we have one
Will
that
be
we
topped
made
up,
yesterday.
yeah.
So we have always one. Going,
Yeah.
So always topping up.
Like sourdough.
Yeah, exactly.
This is-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like a tomato sauce starter, in a way.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. You have to always keep it. It takes time. We have it like boiling over there, simmering for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's not, you're gonna make it in a
Yeah.
second. You need time, so. So we're gonna give the veg a bit color, and then we're
Okay.
going to add the red wine. Gonna add some tomato paste.
Oh.
I'm cool. Keep it. Normally it's that property.
I'm gonna add some bay leaf.
You could just
Oh, very nice color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna reduce this a little bit now, and then we're gonna put the Bragioli back in, and then we're gonna cover it with beef stock, and we're just gonna simmer it.
Nice.
And then it should be ready within 4 to 5 minutes, let's say. Or so.
Yeah. And would you just leave it there?
We just leave it. We just bring it to boil, and then we just simmer it, lower it down, cover it, and leave it.
Perfect.
Slow cook, yeah.
So what's your favorite dish that you were saying you eat a lot of Italian food. Like what's your
Yes.
favorite?
I think my
dish?
favorite dish of all time, my favorite dish of all time that I enjoy eating is probably simple ravioli with ricotta, or ravioli that my mom's makes with sheep. See, we have sheep, we make our own cheese back home.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah,
What cheese do you make?
sheep's cheese. So we make fresh
Yeah.
sheep's cheese, which we then there's versions of it dried with pepper, and it's very local, very authentic. And
You dry that at home as well? Like do you
yeah, we
age it at home?
air dry it, air dry
Oh.
it, yeah. And then we air dry it, we soak it in vinegar, and then we pass it through black peppers. So basically that's, so when you make cheese, you make a lot of cheese, and then you can't eat maybe all the fresh one. So you dry the rest, and then so you preserve it for later.
Yeah.
But the best meal is a ravioli stuffed with my mom's sheep's cheese, and with tomato sauce, basil, and and fresh grated cheese. So it's just
Oh,
like, for me,
nice.
it's
Same
the best.
cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, same cheese, dried, yeah, without pepper though. So
Wow.
it's basically pecorino, a homemade pecorino. It's like our local pecorino.
That's really
And
cool. Yeah.
it's I think there's loads of memories, but it's what I grew up eating. It reminds me a lot of my grandma. It reminds me of my mom. It reminds me of family. There's a lot of love there, and a lot of, it's family. So it's my roots. So definitely.
Wait, so do you? I'm curious now because I'm a big cheese lover, and
Yeah.
well, we don't make cheese, but I smuggle a lot of cheese. You know,
Yeah.
I import a lot of cheese into the country.
Yeah. Do I smuggle cheese?
So
Is that your
yeah,
question?
yeah. So what's your? Is there a place in your suitcase?
There is always
For
a
it, yeah.
I tell you something. There's always a place for cheese in my suitcase on my way back. So yes,
Nice.
there
Yeah.
is always, yeah.
'Cause
But-
how many do you make in the family? Like how much do you make in the family?
And it's quite a lot actually. It's quite a lot. I don't know exactly the amount, but basically they are not very big cheeses. They're like around 80 grams each cheese. It's very small, but probably around 80 or 100 a day. It depends. It depends. I think the season as well. It depends which stage the sheep are, because my dad follows obviously the season as well, and there's time for when obviously they
Yeah,
are milking
yeah.
a lot, and there's time where it's
Yeah.
not. So.
That
Yeah, so
looks
we're gonna put-
fantastic. Yeah.
We're gonna put the Bragioli back in now.
Have you tried using it in like a recipe here at the restaurant or?
No, I
Yeah.
don't. I think, to be honest, I think for food safety business, with being traveled, it's a bit harder.
Yeah, that's
I do use at home, especially when I go back home. It's always obviously we use it because it's fresh there. It's a bit harder to sort of travel with fresh cheese, but dry one, yeah, definitely. We use it. We use it. I use it a lot at home with friends when I'm cooking meals with friends, and yeah.
Yeah, because you were saying earlier, like it's. I guess if food is really like like related to like your memories, and you have things like homemade cheese, like it's
Yeah.
very hard to then like truly bring yourself in the food you make, maybe without those ingredients.
Yeah, with these, yeah.
Or like I
exactly.
think that's the beauty of like it's hard when a recipe it can be as standard as you want, but there's always that one thing that
Yeah, you cannot replace.
cannot
Yeah,
find,
100%. I think that's very important, and I think it's it's what make recipes authentic and special, and to be honest, I think cooking a recipe with those ingredients back home, it's special because you can only do it there, and I think it should stay like that because that's the beauty of cooking local food. It's not having the chance to have it somewhere else, but to go in a specific place. In this case, maybe my mom's home, and do that. So that's part of where things come from and how nature goes. So yeah.
So when you bring this cheese here, like,
Yeah.
does it taste a little bit different? Like, outside of its natural environment?
No, really, no,
No.
I don't think so. No. I
Does
don't
it
think
taste better, maybe?
It tastes definitely better because it's just a taste from home. So definitely it tastes better because you're not if you bring some, you have to sort of stagger and just like rationalize how much you eat. You can't eat as
Yeah,
much as you have because
I
you
know.
don't have much.
I know,
It will
well,
finish at some point until
I
the next
know.
time you go.
Dad, if you're
But-
listening, I'm
yeah.
out of kachori kofta, so I need to bring some.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're like
Yeah.
trying to ration how much you're gonna eat, and so this is
Yeah.
it's boiling now. I'm gonna simmer it.
That's true. That's
Uh,
why we got so used to small portions here. It's not going to a restaurant
Yes,
because
exactly,
we're
yeah.
rationing what we bring.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I'm gonna simmer this. I'm
Yep.
gonna season this. I'm gonna add a bit of add a bit parsley. I'm gonna season that, and we're gonna cover this, yeah, and we're gonna leave it to simmer slowly.
okay.
And so off, and by the time it's ready, a few minutes before it's ready, actually, we'll add the cheese, and then it should be the sauce just thicken and become nice and creamy, sort of a creamier, sort of thicker
Oh, right.
sauce.
So why do you use tin foil?
We use silver because we don't have a lid.
Ah, okay. I thought it was some,
No, we don't have.
No, okay.
We don't usually have a lid. It's very rare to have.
Do-
a lid
you
in the
don't?
kitchen. No,
No.
not really, no. No.
Okay. Because everything is always cooking.
Cooking,
or-
yeah. So
But
we
how about, I don't know, like the whole physics of like, oh, put the lid on so it cooks,
That's the lid.
Yeah, okay.
That's the.
All right. Yeah, I'm shocked to be honest. Because I still remember my mom, she was like, you need to get some lids because otherwise you can't say you're a professional, cook.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to tell her,
That's
I'm
the
not
lid.
going to get them.
That's the lid. That's
All
the
right.
lid. Yeah.
Okay, well, zoom on the lid. We'll see you in 40 minutes when it's cooking. See you later. Let's have a look.
So we're gonna check. Now we're gonna check.
Don't break the lid. Oh, it's nice. What do you think? Still needs a bit of.
Yeah, it needs a bit. We can add the cheese now. We're just gonna simmer for a little bit longer, and then until the sauce is a bit thicker, and then we're done.
Okay,
Okay?
nice. So you leave the peas in the sauce.
Yes.
Yeah.
You make the peas
Yeah.
in the sauce. Yeah.
I think this is the worst place for me to stand.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fine,
like
just
literally
lower,
in
just
the
put-
middle.
Yeah. Sorry. It's,
No, that's fine. I mean, I chose this, so it's all for the angle. So what are you making today? What are these?
So we have here we have arancini. Yeah, we have this is an arancino made with squidding. Okay, so
Nice.
the rice is black
Yeah.
with swordfish squidding, and in the middle we have a saffron bechamel.
Oh wow.
Shall I cut? Show you?
Yeah. Well, unless you portion them, and you need to,
I will
you
show
need
you.
to serve them. Oh wow. Yeah. I'm really intrigued by this squidding. Oh wow,
You see?
it's
So
very
we have
nice.
the arancino, swordfish, and then zafferano in the middle.
It looks incredible.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we try to make different arancino every season. Yeah, with different flavors. So last season we had like a month ago we had arancino with prawns and zucchini. Uh, in winter you have with mushroom and truffle,
Wow.
pumpkin. We change every
Nice.
yeah. Usually some like during January, big January, we try to do plant based arancini. We had one with kale pesto. So yeah, we try to
Yeah.
change all the time and keep it interesting.
So it like that's very far from like maybe
The
the
authentic, yeah,
Sicilian.
yeah, yeah, hundred
Just want
percent.
to show that
Yeah,
Sicilian arancini can because again like even those they are kind of in a
rigid,
way
yeah, yeah,
yeah
yes, definitely.
very set in
Yes,
stone.
I think, yeah, it's very different. It's definitely not authentic. But I think it's just more about trying to experiment in a way and just you know make sure the flavor is good
Yeah.
and just give something different to our customers that come to our regular customers that come often and maybe want to try something different and
It's funny you say that because I know we were talking about that earlier. Like the fact that authentic needs to be always the same. Like there
yeah
is something that to me feels wrong in a
yeah
way. Like because I think for you,
I think yeah I think what we were talking before I think it's just it's more about having authentic food having it where it comes from your mom's house your grandma's dining table I think that's where the authenticity I think it's it's the best place for authenticity I think and local food I think that's where it um, it
yeah,
sort of meets authentic food meets sort of certain occasions and family gatherings, and I think um, that's that is the beauty of it is that you go back home, you go back to a certain country or a certain village and certain places to try the original food or the authentic local food. I think that's what the authenticity is
yeah.
about, it, more rather than following a certain recipe all the time. I think in restaurants especially you have to keep things interesting and you have to change. And yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
you know
because in a way, like the home is a bit like like its own like micro world, because then you use a certain ingredient because maybe are not the origin, like the traditional one was not available at the market, or like as you said, like you make your own cheese, so why should you buy pecorino
yeah
from
exactly yeah
Sardinia? Like you have your own, so
yeah
like that's the authenticity with it.
yeah
Like
yeah 100%. I think that's what adds to the experience and to whatever you're eating. And I think what makes it so special is that you can only get for example talking about Gozo cheese where I come from. It's like the sheep's cheese, the Javan, that's where you can only get them. So that's gonna add to your experience, and you're gonna long for that experience to go back. And for some of the people that have never tried it, it's something maybe exciting new, but for us, I think for me, it's something that I long for, and sort of when I go back I want. So
when the last time, where was the last time you were home?
only a few weeks ago. Only a few weeks ago. Yeah, I go quite often. I think it's good. It's when it's possible, I go quite often. I'm going again in a week's time. So yeah, I'll go again in summer because summer is the best time to visit
Yeah.
home. And yeah, but it's yeah, it's good to be back, and especially cope with my mom being with the family, get a bit of sunshine, and yeah.
And you're from Gozo, right?
Yes, yeah. So I'm from the
Beautiful,
sister island
yeah.
of Malta, a smaller island than Malta, uh, and it's full of food cultures, and I think it's more sort of conservative in a way in terms of like so loads of people that really still into agriculture. And for example my dad, maybe definitely generations are changing and there is less of that, which is a shame. But I think it's important that somehow we preserve this and sort of um, carry on producing um, homegrown vegetables and homegrown anything really, eggs, cheese, honey, and there is a lot of that in Gozo. It's so rich of of this, and it's just so nice to see, especially me being as a chef and going back, and obviously I'm very lucky and fortunate to have it right inside my home, because my dad and my mom, they've been doing it for ages, and it plays a massive part in where I am now today in my career, and the love of food and the love of for produce, and the way things are worked. I think that makes a lot of my my recipes today. The way I think about when I creating a new dish, I think I owe it to both of them. Yeah.
And are they able to sustain themselves with farming?
I think
How is it going?
It's a look. My parents are both retired, and yes, I think in a way they sustain themselves, because literally they have everything from eggs to potatoes to zucchini to pumpkin. So this all season, all and wine and everything. So in a way, yes. Probably it's maybe a bit less realistic to just sustain yourself. It can be done, definitely. I think there is always the. I'm sure there are people that just live on this, and I think it's beautiful, but it depends what what you want and what you need to do. But I think it's yes, in a way they do, yes.
So, I mean, which I guess is also what helped you kind of step out. Like, if they opened up, they were open enough to say, okay, you can leave, and go and live abroad, and
Yeah,
you
I
can
think
do all
it's
these things.
I think growing up and deciding to move away, probably as my parents, I don't know, but as a parent, it's never nice for your kids to move out and go away, far, especially when you're going abroad. You're not there all the time. But I think I think they always been supporting me in whatever I want to do, for my career especially, and anything that I wanted to do. They always supported me, and sort of that I have their blessing. So I'm really blessed and lucky to to be in the situation.
Yeah. Would they ever, would they ever want you to, because you
back.
said you go back and help with the farm. Have you
Yeah.
ever thought about maybe
Moving
doing
back.
that?
But
Yes.
there is some thoughts, obviously, of moving back. However, I think when you establish, you set in sort of, I love London. I love London, because London it's a combination of cultures, and there's so many different types of foods, and the opportunity in London is for me is a great one, and it's a different experience. Growing up in a small village in Gozo and then moving to London, it's quite different, isn't it? So I think it's all about experiences and what you want in life. The idea of moving back home is sort of always at the back of my head, but I think I'm in London at the moment, and this is where I want to be.
You stepped back home, and then we had a bit of the sauce, sort of,
Yes. Yes, exactly. And
sort of,
smell.
yeah. Some
Then
of
you're
the,
eating
some of
everything
the
I
sauce
said.
was coming
It makes
in.
me everything
Yeah.
everything I said.
I know, but I understand. I mean, obviously, I understand you very well. I think it's hard, but there is also a bit of a bit of pride in knowing that it's challenging, and you can rise to the challenge,
Yeah.
and you
Definitely.
you can sort of discover a part of yourself.
Exactly,
in this difficulty.
discover,
So-
and as well, I think it makes you appreciate more back home, things you do back home. I think that's very important, is that you appreciate, and that when you go back home, you spend more quality time doing things that you don't usually have, and I think that's when sort of you appreciate more what you're doing and things you have back home. Yeah, I think I feel that every day now. I think even growing older, and looking back and looking sort of you see your parents, your brothers and sisters, and just spending that time as a family, I think, can be cooking, can be not cooking, but it makes you appreciate more the time because you're away. So
Yeah. Like, do you feel maybe it's hard for you because like you're a chef and like you've been with food all the time, but like
Yeah.
even doing something I don't want to say is simple, but like also very hard, as like helping your father with the potato harvest. Do you feel like you appreciate that much more
yeah,
now?
I think so. I think probably when I was a kid, I didn't appreciate it as much because obviously it's hard work and you want to play with your friends, you want to go play football or you want to play whatever. We wanted to go to the beach in summer, and I think especially me and my brother, we used to, we have there certain chores we have to do. We have my dad in the fields or feeding the animals or whatever, and you automatically you need to do these chores in a way, and you see it as a chore and more, today I think nowadays when I go back I see it more as a something that is, something I enjoy doing, spending time with my dad, spending time, learning about, produce and, growing potatoes. I think not a lot of people have the opportunity to do so. Not a lot of chefs have the opportunity to have that really direct contact and the know-how of how things come to the, to the kitchens, arrive like a potato and onion and whatever, the process from being a seed, let's say, to
Yeah.
arriving in the kitchen. And I think having the luxury of knowing that and actually like experience it firsthand from my dad, it's
Yeah.
yeah,
And also seeing the human side, like it's not just, oh, I know how the potatoes grow. I know how the farmer feels. And like if
exactly.
it's a bad harvest, like I know how much you can impact. Like
Yeah,
I see the human aspect
yeah,
of
it's
growing
it's not
food.
only, it's not when it's a totally different subject, but it's obviously, my dad being a farmer is like, oh, you always sort of worry, is it gonna rain enough? Is it not gonna rain enough? It's all things that impact the produce, no? So I think it is a whole, thought process behind everything. When to do it, if certain winds is in place or not. If I'm gonna plant this or not. There's a lot of sort of procedures and thinking you need to follow to have the right produce and their best results. Let's say that. And some things are not dependent from the farmer. It's nature. So, sometimes you have a bad crop, a bad harvest. Sometimes you have a great one. So it's all very interesting.
Yeah, and it's important to be
Yeah.
in contact with
Yeah,
that.
I think it's very important to be in contact. It's very important for people to know, especially young generations, that uh, they they don't realize what it takes. You just go to the supermarket and buy. I remember when I came to London in the beginning, like my first few weeks, and I had to go buy eggs. I found it very strange to go and buy eggs because
Yeah.
I never bought eggs in my life.
Okay.
Because we always had the chickens, we always have eggs
Sure.
back home. So it's very strange to, it's a simple thing. It's such a simple thing, but you realize, oh, I have to buy eggs now because, I don't have my family that is, I'm not at my mom's house anymore, my dad's house, and we have everything, all the produce is there. So, yeah.
And were you a bit shocked by the variety of eggs that there are now?
Yeah, I think it's a massive shock. It's also in general, I think not only for eggs, I think it's just in general, like so much produce and so much things coming from all over the world, so much everything is imported, and I think going to a supermarket is one thing, but working in kitchens and having the vastest probably supply you can get from anywhere in the world is just insane. But I think just sticking to local, I think local produce and obviously sustainability and produce that is coming from sustainable farmers and small farmers, I think it's very important. And it's as well for me like it's something close to home, because my dad is a small
Yeah.
farmer, and it's very important to think of that, have that in mind.
Yeah, and it connects to what you were saying
Yeah,
earlier
exactly.
about.
Just connect the
Yeah,
whole circle. So
yeah.
it's a circle, isn't it? produce, fresh produce, homegrown, small farmers, to cooking like authentic food, family occasions, bring the family together. So going into restaurants, myself cooking, people, maybe other people just dining, and just I think it's a whole circle that sort of connects everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, it's very nice.
This
and
is
that's
the
why.
end already
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Don't want to burn it.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take them out.
Okay.
Some people have like
Whoa,
Yeah.
that looks dangerous.
So I'm just gonna reduce the sauce a little bit. And I name the sticks.
eating it better.
Well, you said the portion was 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Feels a bit generous today.
So we got them 3 plates maybe.
Yeah.
Cristian, you?
Quella è una pozione.
2. 2 bello.
Penso che non si alza.
It's family style.
Yeah.
It's like being back home.
And the sauce itself looks amazing. What would you do with it? If you're not using,
Well, you can do, to be honest, you can even probably you will use it all, because you have like you have bread, and you'll take bread and just soak it all up.
yeah. It's nice you say, you're like, oh, okay, let me see what my sort of professional, what my professional self can give you an
I
answer
mean, to be honest,
about,
when we do like
adapting a
in
dish.
Malta, when we do like for example when we do rabbit stew, usually the leftovers with all this sauce we do like spaghetti with rabbit.
Nice.
So that's what I was thinking. You can do something similar to that, because I think it's you have a lot of flavor,
Yeah.
and it's very Maltese to do to use the rabbit stew, the rabbit meat, and whatever is left really from the stew, and use it the next day for spaghetti.
Yeah.
I think it's the best probably sort of ragu you can have, full of flavor, and yeah.
Actually, it's nice because like a lot of pasta sauces, they were not made to be, to be cooked with pasta first.
Exactly.
They actually
yeah.
are.
Yeah, I like sort of in a way leftover. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we have it. Bragioli. Yeah, shall we try them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
100%.
Let's try it.
Try. Bello. What are you doing, Hugh? Yeah?
Yeah. Well, how about you try a bit? Like
Yeah.
you try one bite. You
Okay.
tell me what you think,
Okay.
and then I haven't really thought this through. How am I gonna show the tasting? But I don't think I'm gonna show it.
No?
I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this private
Yeah?
so that we
Okay.
can talk about it. um, I don't want to put myself in the shock and like
No?
kind of tasting the dish as if I'm some critic.
Okay.
I think I'll just have you tell me what you think and like how, yeah, well, what you think of when you
Yeah.
taste this.
Let's try.
What do you
You know
think?
what? There is only one thing missing. A glass of red wine. A glass
Okay,
of red wine?
that's why you were checking the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not 12 yet.
Okay.
It's not 12 yet, but we still can have a glass of red
Yeah,
wine.
there is some
But-
wine in the sauce.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
It's true. But I think it's very comforting food, a plate of food, and it's for me it reminds me of Sunday lunches back home. You go to church in the morning usually, and then you gather all the family by 12 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock. You're eating, and yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just loads of happy memories.
When's the
So-
last time? Have you ever had Bragioli in London? Or?
I haven't. I had the variations of it, but not same as this. But I had
Okay.
variations of it. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's really good. It's really good. You should try.
Yeah, I will try some now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for all your time today. It's
Very
been very
welcome.
nice to
Thank you.
share memories around food and to see you preparing this dish.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming and thanks for giving me the opportunity to share my love for food and where I come from.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
we will,
Try.
it's not finished for us because now we're going to
We'll
try
try.
some. All right. See you. So here we are, just left the restaurant. Gotta protect the camera from the rain because it's a very miserable day indeed. But I had a lot of fun in the kitchen with Giovann. I think, we, as I said to him, like, I'm not here to I'm not a food critic and I'm not here to kind of give feedback on the conversation. I want this series to be as natural and like authentic as possible. And I liked, how we talked about authenticity and the fact that authentic means just literally, authentic is different for everybody. And authentic is really a reflection of like who you are and what your experiences are. And that's kind of what I wanted to explore, like the idea that food is not set in stone and nobody should do things in a specific way. Nobody should really say, this is the recipe and it shouldn't be changing. It hasn't changed in a few years and shouldn't be changing anymore. I think I'm a little bit tired of that, to be honest with you. Again, I think I lived abroad long enough to kind of be open to something new. And I really found that, in speaking to Giovann, I think we had a similar experience where he's attached to his Maltese roots, but he learned to appreciate them much more by living abroad. I'm very happy with how the interview went. I think for a first episode, this is not too bad. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this conversation with Giovann, and I'll see you in the next episode.